life.
Because life as a tattoo artist, or even business,
well, art
right?
is a reflection of life.
We are, like you said, we're each our own business. Well, how do we know how to save our money when we make cash? Sometimes we make maybe $1,000 in a week, and we think, wow, this is really good money, I'm gonna go blow it. Well, does the young artist know that next week he may not make any money? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like with the wealthy tattoo artist, where wealth is a mindset, not a status. I'm trying to spread that awareness of like, guess what? You might be making good money today, but what happens if you hurt your hand tomorrow?
Yeah.
These are all things that we're not talking about.
I've seen it.
Or what do you do when you have a slow week? It's like, what are you doing to supplement your income? What if you have 3 kids at home? Are you really relying on tattooing alone? And so kind of what you were saying, like we can not only learn things about tattooing, but we can learn about being a tattoo artist as a career. Because yes, now this is your career. So now we need to figure out all the rest of it too. So yeah, we're gonna figure out how to tattoo properly, how to treat our clients properly, but what about the rest of it? What about paying your bills every month? What about getting to work? What about, delegating your time so that you're not getting burnt out? What about putting in the hours of promoting yourself properly? It's like those to me are the things that people aren't talking about as much. So what would you say about some of those things if you had to help someone with
a couple
that?
of things that you
What are you
mentioned
doing?
there.
What are you doing?
And it's funny that we were talking about the synergy and in the work environment, but outside of the shop, there's also synergies. So us in Madrid, for example, we started affiliating ourselves as a shop, face-to-face tattoo, with other companies that aren't tattoo related, but but very relatable.
Okay.
So, for example, we do the synergy with whiskey, Bullet whiskey.
Okay.
And
cool.
What happens is that every once in a while on our social media, our social media platforms and stuff like that, we will post a picture of someone that just got an awesome tattoo, and they'll be wearing the hat.
Okay.
Of this brand, and we'll tag them in this, and we'll put stories.
That's very good.
And stuff like
That's
that.
Really good.
And what happens is that they also
cross promotion. Really,
they'll do the same thing. They'll have pictures of or they'll share our same pictures of tattooed people,
and then that
with
their people looking at
wearing
your stuff.
their product. And what's happening is that we're ending up sharing our viewers, we're
the eyeballs. Yeah,
exactly. we're exposing ourselves not only to our followers but to their followers and the followers of their followers.
Yes.
The synergy is also really important to work with businesses that aren't in the tattoo industry.
Okay.
And what's funny is that thanks to them, for example, I was able to do an interview in a magazine.
Nice.
So working with the Bullet Whiskey Company, they also do a synergy with a magazine, and through that contact, I ended up in that magazine.
Right. Okay.
So these are really important things.
Thinking outside the box, if you will.
You have to cooperate with people and businesses that aren't, just tattoo or art.
Yes.
You got to kind of go out there and look for other companies.
Yeah. That's really good.
Another example of this kind of synergy is we work with a bar that's nearby our shop, and in October we do this special promotion that we call it Oktoberfest. And basically we, at the shop, you pay some sort of entrance fee, and all it is this kind of like a cata. Oh man, I don't know how to say that in English. Cata is where you try an assortment of beers. Yeah, it's a sample, a tasting, an assortment of beers.
Okay.
And basically, what happens is that we pay for the majority. So basically, people they'll pay $5, but they get all these beers
because you paid for the
rest
of it.
Us
sponsorship.
Yes, we sponsor this party at this restaurant, or it's at a pub. And that also helps promote. It's amazing because, the people from the bar know the studio. The people from the studio know the bar. Everyone kind of drinks, has a good time. They get together. They talk about tattoos. They,
and it opens conversation.
And it ties people together.
Yeah, makes them comfortable.
And it makes the world smaller.
Right.
Because in the end, it's these small coincidences that get you to tattoo more and more people.
And people want to go where it's comfortable and familiar. So if they
Exactly.
if they hear your
Yes.
name around, that's where they want to go.
Even if they meet you, I've
Right.
noticed.
Yes, they put a face to the business. That's always been a good one. Is putting a face to the.
I've always thought of
Art
this,
or the
that,
business.
or at least I've realized it, that, you know, you do need to tattoo well. It's super important. Like, that's fundamentally the number one thing. A good, solid product and good, solid tattoo. But then after that,
How
you
do
also need to be approachable.
Yeah, because there's so many people that are producing good, solid,
Yes.
amazing tattoos. That's the topic
But you
of
know what's
discussion
funny?
I'm trying to
You know
bring
what's
out
funny
to the
is
world.
that then
It's
there's
how do we
other
stand out?
people that don't make such a good product that tattoo a lot. A lot.
Yes.
And it's like, what are they doing to tattoo so much if
Right.
their product isn't even that good?
Right.
They are more sociable. They're more
They're
open.
making the client feel very special.
They're just,
And the client is essentially going and paying for that, not
Yep.
necessarily the tattoo.
in the end, the tattoo, you're buying a tattoo, but you're also buying an experience.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
a lot of people
Huge.
are tied extremely to that experience.
Mhm.
They want like
Oh, yeah.
a nice and that would be like the second fundamental thing in a tattoo business
Yeah.
is being
Like customer service.
customer service, extremely kind and informative.
Yes.
I think that
Yeah.
you need to inform your clients.
Yes, we have a thing that's called the informative response. I actually did a video on just that, and that's exactly what it is. Like, instead of saying, no, I can't do that, you say why you can't do it. Oh, well, the lines are so tight, over time those lines are going to blur together. It took you 2 seconds to say those extra words. Where they came from the shop up the street, and they're all like, well, what the hell? The guy up the road was kind of rude. He just said, no, I can't do it. And then here I am going, well, I can't do that either, but this is why. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll just make it bigger. Or, oh, I'll pick something else. And that was the informative response.
Right.
Just simply giving a little bit more information versus where a lot of artists, I don't know, I guess they're just so busy. I don't know why they're not doing that.
There's two parts to this for me to answer. One of them is, this is why it's so important to have a manager. Tattoo manager.
Yeah, somebody that's
someone at the
available.
front counter
Mhm.
that's available, that's going to, their job is to make everyone that comes through the door comfortable.
Yeah.
When you are a tattoo artist that's got to be tattooing, designing, getting ready for an appointment, getting your
It's too
materials, and someone walks through the door,
You can't
you're just like, yeah, whatever, no, you can't do this, blah, blah,
Yes.
get out of my,
You can't always be so friendly and
You
nice all the
can't.
time. It's too much.
So
It's
you need
overwhelming.
to have someone that their job is just that.
Right.
And
I
everyone,
agree.
like,
If you can.
our shop in
What would
Madrid,
be your alternative though if you couldn't afford someone or because I know at one point we would basically just train all the artists to work together at that point. And then me as the owner, have my station would be in the front and I have to greet everyone. We could not afford to pay someone. So what we did though is we kind of like delegated. We just basically said, listen, as a shop, everyone is responsible for at least smiling at someone. Like that's all you got to do. Just smile at them. Let them know someone will be with them. Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of hard. That can be a hard subject. That can be a hard one because you can't always in the beginning afford to pay someone for the front. Or it is maybe just you. Maybe it is just you doing it all. Like it is important.
The shops that I've worked at, usually I've noticed that they'll have either piercer. Piercer is usually like front
That's
counter
their job.
person
Mhm.
that because they do have a little more extra time.
Mhm.
Tattooers. The only problem is that is that they're learning.
Right.
So they're
Right.
not the best at explaining issues,
yes.
with things that walk in through the
Yes.
door. They might
Mhm.
get caught with their pants down, like.
Right. But at least if there's that middleman to simply just get the client from point A, which is just walking in the door. So even if it's just someone that's like, hi, how are you? Yes, somebody will be with you in just a few minutes. At
Right.
least if you can just have someone like that until an artist can get to them. Maybe,
I
right?
personally
As like
think,
like
seriously, like the situation that I have in my shop, where that I work at in Madrid, is amazing because the owner doesn't tattoo.
okay.
Ever? No, he's not a tattooer.
Okay.
He just owns a shop and he knows a lot about tattooing and he
Right.
really enjoys he he's a very well informed
Right.
person about
Right.
the tattoo industry. You know, he's not just like some shop owner that
Right.
owns a shop.
That's like my husband.
And then just like
Same thing. He
comes and collects
answer-
money
Yeah.
and then leaves.
Yeah.
No, he it's his shop and he understands the fundamental basics of tattooing and everything. You know, sometimes
Can answer
he surprises
questions.
me.
Yeah.
Like I'll be tattooing and he'll say something and I'm like, I can't believe you know that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
And
That's my husband.
and what happens is that he's also
Amazing.
like he's running the shop like he owns it. So everyone that walks through that door is his client.
Yes.
It's his money.
Good. Yeah.
And so
That's
he's,
huge. That's
he's
a
always
key.
on point with everyone.
Yeah.
Super nice, no matter how strange or like
Yep.
sometimes
Yep.
sometimes we are biased. Like someone will walk in the door and you're like, this doesn't look good. And you're like, oh, this person is just coming in to waste my time, or this person doesn't have
They're
any
all
money,
drugged out or
or
something
they're
weird.
drunk, or
Yeah.
whatever. And if you're a tattoo artist and you're busy doing something else, you're just gonna try to get this person out of your face.
Right. Right.
But if you have someone there that's truly representing that shop
Mhm.
and doesn't have anything else to do but to take care of that client,
yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it creates good vibes
Yeah.
always. And it's funny because before we were talking about traveling and experiencing new places, and a lot of times I go to other shops and I'm like, wow, I love the shop that I work at. You know what I mean?
Right. Makes you appreciate what you have.
It makes
yeah.
me appreciate what I
Yeah.
have, and a lot of times people don't do that. Like people, and I've worked with some younger tattoo artists at that shop that were like complaining about that shop. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"You
gosh.
have no
I
idea."
find it funny when
You
anybody
have no
complains
idea.
because it's like you have no idea. Yeah, like
Right.
it's like man.
But
Because
obviously,
our shop seems to be ran almost exactly how you're describing yours. Like we have Joe, he's been in the industry for 10 plus years now, but does not tattoo. But he's been by my side and working with me at my shop for 10 years, even prior. So now we own a shop now, 5 years, and he greets every client that walks in the door, friendly. He treats them all like they're his client, and he has the time to do so.
exactly.
So it's
his job.
amazing. It's like you're kind of describing how we're running our shop.
It-
It's awesome. But we also have everybody trained to, like, if you're not busy, help out with paperwork. If you're not, we're kind of like a team. We're kind, even though
Yeah.
everybody's their independent
No,
business,
I'm not.
we look out for each other in that way too.
Yeah, I'm not saying
It's
that
cool.
only the manager has to run
Right,
things,
right.
but
No, I
having
got that. Yeah.
someone that
Absolutely.
that physically their job is to make sure that everything is
Mhm.
running fine and that every customer that comes to the door gets treated correctly
It's
is
important.
it's huge.
Yeah.
Also, it kind of makes because sometimes a tattoo artist will be busy or whatever, and it kind of it's enchanting, for the customer to come in and they can talk to the manager and you're like, oh, but you can come in at like 5 o'clock and talk to the artist himself.
Right. Like
You're
a
like,
consultation.
oh my god,
Yep,
like
yep.
the customer enjoys it, like
Yep.
so cool. I get to talk to
Yeah.
the artist.
Yeah.
Or if they just walk in the door and the artist's like, yo, what up?
Yeah.
It's
yes.
different.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's like, oh, okay.
It's more exclusive.
It is.
And that's very
And it
important.
should be because
Yes.
I found something out. If
So
you
be exclusive. We want to be exclusive, not all inclusive. Everybody is not included. It's exclusive. It's putting yourself in that category, but not in a stuck-up way. Not in like I'm too busy for you. It's I'm really busy right now, but you can book a consultation. I would
Right.
love to talk to you and hear your ideas.
As long
Gotta
as-
go. Bye. Like if it's you talking to them. Even if you're not that busy, sometimes it's still better to book a consultation because it gives you that exclusive feel that people really do think, wow, this guy is a big deal. He's exclusive.
I mean, when
People
you
want that.
what I've noticed is that as a tattooer, that's a full-time job. If you because if
Designing,
you're not tattooing,
everything.
tattoos usually take a long time, and if you're not tattooing, you're getting a design ready, and that should be taking you a long time.
Yes.
Your designs shouldn't just be like, oh, here's something cool.
Even
tattoo.
your consultations should take at least 30 minutes to an hour.
Absolutely.
I think.
So huge. One of the things that I noticed when I started working at this shop in Madrid, like I mentioned before, the wife was working with the manager, and they split up, and she left with all her clients,
Mm,
and also with another tattoo artist.
Oh wow. Okay. Yes.
So
wow.
when I went into that
You
shop,
definitely feel
knew it was like the desert in there, and we, you know, I worked really hard together with my manager to make that place like start running and working awesome. And one of the things that we did, besides focusing, obviously, like besides focusing on giving a really good, customer satisfaction and treating everyone very politely and nicely, is that afterwards it was super easy to just be like, hey, did you enjoy your experience? Like, did everything go as you planned? And usually they're like, yeah, it was super awesome, thank you so much. Like, if you'd be so kind, could you give us like a Google review?
right.
And
Mentioning it ups your chances by
dude,
a lot.
if you enjoyed,
mentioning it to them
the whole process and how we treated you and the tattoo and the product, like, we would really appreciate it if you could, fill out a Google review or a Yelp review or something like that. And we got to the point that we got so many reviews that now we're busy with a bunch of people that come in being like, yo,
they saw the
you
reviews.
guys' reviews are
Yes,
so
yes.
amazing.
And it also boosts the algorithm even of the shop will actually show up more
Right.
whenever
Because
if they
there's
just
more
search
interaction.
tattoo shops nearby, that whatever shop has the best reviews and the most reviews actually pops up
Correct.
for closer. So it's kind of cool. It's
If
actually beneficial.
For a starting business, I think that aspect is extremely important.
Yeah,
to
agree.
kind of mention it to the
Huge.
customers, and that's why,
Can't hurt to ask.
right before that, you do need to treat them well and offer a good product.
Mm-hmm.
So those two things are the fundamental things that afterwards, if it went out everything correctly, they will leave a good review.
Yeah.
And then that good review is going to bring more people.
I'll even tell people, like, when they apologize for not being able to tip me, like, if they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm like, no, I don't care about that. Just tell your friends. That, and it seems to, like, they seem to light up and say, oh my God, okay, And I know now that they will feel obligated to tell their friends because I said that and they felt bad because they couldn't give me a tip. But now they'll feel obligated to say, oh, this place, and she was so nice, and da-da-da, you should go see them.
Yeah.
And, it kind of almost, like, makes them feel obligated to, like, leave the review or tell their friends when you
in
say,
a way,
like,
you're sacrificing
please,
a tip for a review.
Please do that, if that's all we really care about, kind of thing.
I mean, it helps a lot. I noticed that. I saw it with my own eyes. I was like, yo, I can't believe how powerful the Google reviews
Well, that's
are.
all people have to go by sometimes. If they don't really know from word of mouth, it used to be only word of mouth.
What happens is that
word of mouth.
that's a way you're going to tattoo a lot of people that are new to the tattoo world.
Right. Which is becoming really popular with all the new shows and stuff.
People want to get a
coming
tattoo.
Out of the woodwork.
They're like, I want a
50
tattoo,
and up.
something small, something. I don't know. I just don't know. And they don't know where to look. They don't know a lot of people with tattoos. So they start, looking online, and that's where they're going to come out. And if this whole process works out well, they'll probably come back again.
Yeah.
To get another tattoo
Bring
at
a
some
friend.
point, or bring a friend, or talk to someone about it.
Yeah.